In Denver, I'm Elizabeth Ruiz reporting.
Elizabeth, thank you, and that will do it for us today. I'm Chris Stewart. Denver 7 News at 5 starts right now.
I think that's really, really heartbreaking and sad.
How does somebody hit a person and leave?
A man and his 2 dogs hit and killed in the middle of the night.
It's horrible, especially if somebody just hit and run type of situation. That's, so unacceptable.
Police are now looking for the person responsible who left their car at the scene and fled.
When I got here is when I found out that this was
Classes canceled.
One false threat shuts down more than a dozen college and university campuses across Colorado.
We were all really looking forward to the campus tour to know where to go once classes start, but that got canceled.
And Colorado's looking green as COVID-19 cases continue to drop in our state. And good evening, and thank you for joining us for Denver 7 News at 5. I'm Ann Trujillo.
And I'm Shannon Ogden. Glad you're with us tonight. And first for you at 5, we're monitoring flood advisories in the mountains as storms are pushing through the metro.
There were also tornado warnings issued earlier this afternoon out east near DIA.
Meteorologist Stacey Donaldson has her plate full. Let's talk about these storms, Stace.
Well, just about a week ago, we had the exact same thing happen, storms spiraling across the eastern plains, and we had a landspout that spun up near DIA. So at this point, that storm is just off to the north, and so things have quieted down, but we still have some rain on the east side of the metro and on the south side as well. Now, the heavy rain is affecting areas north of Estes Park. Quite a few flash flood warnings in these regions as the heavy rain continues to push off to the north and east very, very slowly. So it's dumping a lot of rain through that region. Now, we also broke a record today. We hit 100 degrees at DIA, officially triple digits up through northeastern Colorado. And this broke the previous record of 99 degrees set way back in the 1800s. And this is our 5th 100 degree day this summer. But we are going to be cooling things down over the weekend. I'll have your complete forecast, let you know how chilly it's going to get coming up.
All right, we'll see you in a little bit. Thank you, Stacey. A man and his 2 dogs were killed overnight, hit by a driver who just ditched his car and fled the scene.
It happened in Aurora near the Cherry Creek State Park along Reservoir Road. And Denver 7's Russell Haythorne is joining us live near where that hit and run happened.
And Russell, neighbors tell you this intersection is notorious for street racing.
That's right, Shannon. First, I want to show you the tire marks left behind here in Horizon Park and also the orange spray paint used by investigators to mark the trajectory of the vehicle. All you have to do is stand here for about 5 minutes and you can see multiple cars racing by on this roadway. In fact, we're told Aurora police sometimes post a digital sign out here that reads, "This is not the Autobahn, slow down." It's a roadway.
Just excessive speed.
Many in this neighborhood avoid at all costs.
There's a lot of racing up Tower/Reservoir Road, especially late at night.
It's extremely dangerous to walk exactly where that gentleman was walking because that's right where it curves. And I will not even walk our dog there.
It proved deadly this week after a driver veered onto the sidewalk and slammed into a man walking 2 dogs, killing the man and the dogs. The hit-and-run driver then ditched the SUV he or she was driving and took off.
How, as a person, as a human being, do you hit a person and, there are 2 dogs and just leave?
These days, people aren't learning things like responsibility. It seems like you can do whatever and it's okay. A lot of things are just kind of escaping from core values and principles that we've held dear.
I also think there's a lot of entitlement going on. There's a lot of, I'm not going to get in trouble for anything.
Those familiar with this roadway say it's been a problem for years.
Between Hamden and Quincy, it changes from Tower to Reservoir.
At nighttime, there's a lot of racing.
It's on the other side going north. It's like it's a drag race every time.
For now, police continue to search for the suspect as neighbors try to make sense of the tragedy.
A lot of people have no respect for the police or any of those first responders, and it's really sad.
I have dogs, and so I'm always noticing when people are walking their dogs and what they're doing. I thought it was great that he was walking his dogs late at night just to get them out.
It's horrible, especially if somebody just hit and run type of situation. That's so unacceptable.
Back here live now, Aurora police say the Toyota Sequoia left at this median with front end damage was not reported stolen. They're trying to figure out who exactly the registered owner was of that vehicle and try to figure out exactly who was responsible for this. We'll keep you posted. For now, we're live in Aurora. Russell Haythorne, Denver 7.
Yeah, really a tragedy. All right, Russell, thank you for that. In northern Pennsylvania, 10 people have been found dead in a house fire. A volunteer firefighter in Nescopec, Pennsylvania says his son, daughter, father-in-law, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, 3 grandchildren, and 2 other relatives were among those killed. Several were there visiting family. The children who died were ages 5, 6, and 7. 3 other family members were able to escape, and a criminal investigation into what caused this fire is now underway.
The arrest of 73-year-old Karen Gardner was caught on camera more than 2 years ago and still so difficult to watch.
And today, a Loveland officer who failed to stop the assault was sentenced to 45 days in jail, 3 years of probation and community service. She will not have to pay restitution.
And during today's sentencing, a Larimer County judge called former officer Daria Jalali's failure to intervene an abysmal failure. Gardner's son, daughter, and daughter-in-law were at the sentencing and glad to see some form of justice.
Still, may not feel that she's as remorseful, but I think it's going to set in pretty quick.
I still don't feel any remorse from her. I feel like she's still kind of a little bit proud of herself still. She failed in every aspect of what she did. And that was one word that he said that I was like, that's exactly it. It sums up the whole thing. She failed.
Last year, the Garner family settled a lawsuit with the city of Loveland for more than $3 million. The other officer involved in Garner's arrest was sentenced to 5 years in prison.
In 2 weeks, we could get the body camera video showing what exactly happened when Denver police shot at a suspect in a crowd downtown last month. 6 innocent bystanders were injured in that shooting. Police say they fired after the suspect flashed a gun at them as bars were letting out. Well, Denver police say the ultimate decision on the video's release is up to the Department of Safety, along with the suspect's legal team. If that video is released, we will be sure to share it on air and on thedenverchannel.com.
Conspiracy theorist Alex Jones has been ordered to pay $45.2 million in punitive damages to the family of a 6-year-old boy killed at the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. Now, this would be in addition to the $4 million in compensatory damages Jones was ordered to pay earlier this week. Jones has repeatedly called the shooting that killed 20 young children and 6 adults a hoax. This trial in Texas is the first of 3 Sandy Hook trials Jones is expected to face in just the next few months.
More than a dozen college campuses were shut down today, and it was all because of a big hoax. Colleges from Fort Collins to Boulder to Denver, even down to Colorado Springs, were all evacuated and closed by noon. Denver 7's Patrick Perez has been following this story throughout the day and joins us live now. Patrick, students showing up for classes, even orientation, they were surprised when they were told to just go right back home.
Yeah, and these threats today left a lot of people upset because they were, like you said, supposed to attend orientation. It was supposed to be a big day, but it was cut short by a bad person. Now, thankfully, those threats turned out to be a hoax, but nonetheless, law enforcement obviously took them very seriously. A lot of confusion and questions Friday after potential threats put multiple Denver Metro College campuses on high alert.
When I got here is when I found out that the school was closed.
Jonathan King was one of many students we saw at Aurora campus in Denver, initially unaware of the campus closure.
I tried to pay for parking and it didn't give me my receipt, so I tried to call the parking people and they're closed, so I called the campus police and that's when they told me that there was a threat.
The threats also impacted CU Denver's orientation, cutting the day's event short for many students.
All the plans that we had from like 12 to 3:30 got canceled and everything got locked down, so they said like if we were to leave the campus we couldn't go back inside, which is expected.
Front Range Community College was first to alert its students and staff about a potential threat at its 3 campuses. It tweeted about the security alert before 9 a.m. Friday. We saw these signs on the doors warning about the lockout before the college closed for the day. Westminster Police, one of the investigating agencies, says it worked throughout the morning to contact the person believed to have made the threats. Officers learned it appeared someone had made the threats using someone else's name and that police could not validate the threats. In total, more than a dozen campuses were impacted by what law enforcement now says was all just a hoax.
I'm really displeased with someone who would do something disadvantageous to so many people.
So many of these campuses either closed for the day or they went remote. There are also some changes expected to their hours this weekend, so if you have any plans to attend with them, we have all that information for you on thedenverchannel.com. For now, we're live in Denver. I'm Patrick Perez, Denver 7.
All right, Patrick, thank you. Colorado is looking a lot greener these days.
According to the CDC's COVID-19 community level map, nearly all the Denver metro now along with the majority of the state at low level risk. That's the green. Now, Broomfield County, the only Denver metro county that's still at a high COVID community level. CDPHE still reminding parents, get your children vaccinated for the coronavirus before the school year. Now, this weekend, there are also several monkeypox vaccination clinics happening around the state. And to see if you qualify for the vaccine and to find one near you, visit thedenverchannel.com.
If she rolls over, she definitely wants a belly rub.
Deadly predators can have a soft side.
Wolf kisses definitely involve a little bit more teeth, not necessarily biting, but just kind of scraping or nibbling a little bit. I don't know, just their way of kind of getting excited and saying hi.
These wolves and the people who take care of them now need your help moving to a new home.
That's where the public comes in, just to help us get past that finish line.
7 Denver metro communities will be getting a big paycheck once the Broncos sale goes through.
After highs close to 100 degrees today, it'll be a nice warm evening tonight for the metro area, but big changes coming this weekend, including quite a bit of rain.